Now, for this first video, of course, we're going to be focusing on your target audience and getting as detailed as possible so that you can have specific messages that immediately resonate with the persons you want it to resonate with. And then we'll also be talking about brand power words, right? So let's talk about what a target audience is. A target audience is literally that group of individuals that you really want to serve, to show up and serve and to have relate to you on a deeper level, right? And so there are various ways for a target audience to be able to relate to you, but all of that ends up being governed by your brand and the way that you're putting your business out there and the way that your messaging is going out, right? So it's important for you to at least start from a place of understanding who your target audience is and getting as specific as possible, right? So with that said, so let's take some examples so that we can really demonstrate how we can get as specific as possible with our target audience. So for instance, say your target audience is female online business owners, right? And I'm just putting TA for short. So target audience equals female online business owners. Alright. I'm hoping that you can see like all of it. Cool. So with that being the general group of individuals that you want to reach, great. That already kind of narrows things down because of course you have male business owners or male online business owners or persons who have chosen to identify themselves as author and things. So with that said, at the end of the day, you've at least narrowed down tremendously, right? But then that's a lot of persons to think about, I mean, say out of the over 7 billion persons in the world, maybe 3 billion of them happen to be female online business owners, for instance. And then out of that now, that's 3 billion people that you're going to be talking to. That's crazy. And in this online space especially, or in marketing overall, it's said that if you are talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody, right? So with that said, you still need to get a bit more specific as to who you want to talk to, right? So then we go into niching down right now. So in terms of actually niching down, it really means that we're going to get more specific, right? And we're going to be more specific based on, specific common factors, if you will, I will remember math. Specific common factors that literally are like binding agents to specific individuals, right? So, for instance, with your niche, right? I think this red, you should see that a lot better. Your niche could be then female online business owners who are mothers, right? Female online business owners, who are mothers. Cool. So that sounds good, and that definitely feels like you are, getting more close to the point and getting more specific. You can really visualize, yourself talking directly to these mothers, right? But then when you think about the group of mothers that exist, there are mothers who have children who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, because online business owners who are female definitely end up being a lot more, it's a vast majority. Many persons have retired from 9 to 5 and still gone online, all of that. So there's still a wide cross section. So as much as it might narrow down from like 3 billion to maybe like 500 million, I don't know. At the end of the day, there's still some narrowing down to do because somebody who has children like toddlers would be in a different stage of life and possibly a different stage of business than somebody who, has their children, you know, like an empty nester, you know, who doesn't have children at home, but they're still a mother, right? So in terms of getting more specific then, I really invite you to look at your services. Now, you're looking at your services or you're looking at your products if you're a product-based business, and you're seeing who exactly can benefit from these more out of your niche, you know, out of the persons you have narrowed down, you know, a little more to, you know. So is it that, you know, your services end up giving persons more time, or end up giving, you know, persons more peace of mind in terms of their finances, something like that, you know? So then maybe you're going to actually try and narrow down a bit more to the mother who has toddlers, who needs that time, who needs more financial security because she has to be paying for a lot more, you know, things like that. And then you try your very best to imagine that person as an individual standing with you, and like just think about desires that person would have, you know, and at the end of the day, let that you know, dictate you developing an overall ideal client avatar or a client profile that you can definitely, you know, lay as your foundation, right? So with that said, that's your ideal client avatar. Right, ICA for short. And so with that said, out of this general female online business owners who are mothers, I'm going to choose to focus on, you know, female online business owners who are mothers who have maybe 2 kids under 2, right? So, female OBOs and moms with 2 under 2. Right? And so from there now, she wants more time. She wants financial security. I mean, we all do, but you were just thinking about this specific mother, right? Financial security. She wants to be able to travel more, even with 2 under 2 travel time and options. And so as much as she's a business owner, and she became a business owner to be able to spend more time with her family, there's still some things that she doesn't want to be doing in her business and stuff. So guess what? If your services are there to enhance her life, you already have a common factor or a binding agent that would definitely, you know, see her as an ideal client for you to serve, right? And so with that now, you think about your brand power words now, right? So when we talk about our brand overall, we're talking about the personality of our business, right? The thing that invites persons into a relationship with us, right? Or the elements that invite that or facilitate that, right? And so with that now, you know, when you think about our personality, in the same way that you're thinking of the ideal client avatar or the character profile, you're thinking of your brand having that as well. So there's specific things that your brand says, you know, that defines your brand. There's specific ways that your brand is clad that define the way that your brand expresses itself, you know, things like that. And so in terms of messaging, it's the same thing. You know, there's specific things that your brand will say overall in terms of messaging that will ideally link directly to or appeal to your ideal client, right? And so with that said now, when you're thinking about your overall message map that you're going to be developing, I want you to think of you know, ways that your brand can express itself that will inspire your ideal client to feel a certain way, right? And so, I mean, it's great for you to even think about your overall brand values when you're thinking about that. You know, brand values meaning integrity, kindness, you know, whatever your brand values are. But then you're going a step further. How do you want your clients to feel? Do you want them to feel empowered? Do you want them to feel, you know, secure? Do you want them to feel, you know, things like that, right? So I want to go ahead and encourage you to develop 5 to 7 brand power words that will literally define the way you want your ideal client to feel once they are benefiting from your services or your products, and then write those down, because those will actually be the cornerstone of how we're going to be developing our message map moving forward. So in terms of moving forward, click the next video.